Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have here another 10 pens currently inked this week. I think let's go through these briefly one by one. We'll go through them in a little bit more detail and then we'll do a writing sample. So from left to right we have the Mike Green pens, and this is the Juma Golden Dragon. We have a Cypress, and this is the Maki-e Goldfish. We have a Cypress, and this is the Raden Mosaic number 4. We have a Cypress, and this is the Maple in the Forest. We have an Anoto, and this is a Charles Dickens Christmas Carol 2024 edition. We have an Anoto, and this is the University of Oxford in Vermeil, sterling silver. We have a Majohn Titanium TI 136. We have a Montblanc Around the World in 80 days, and this is a special edition. We have the Montblanc, and this is the LePetit Prince Aviator Solitaire Doué, and then we have a Montblanc Writer's Edition Brothers Grimm. So I think let's take a look at these pens inked up in a little bit more detail. So this is a pen that Mike Green in the US, he's a pen turner or custom pen maker, sent me, and I have to say this material is really stunning. I think Mike did a really good job in turning this pen. I have a review of this pen. His prices are pretty good as well, and he can do a lot with the pens. I've seen smaller pens, I've seen these fairly oversized pens, and I've seen the humongous pens that he's made. And when I say humongous, I mean literally the size of a baseball bat. He can make some really large pens if you want to go down that route. Certainly the pens would not fit in this pen tray. Some of them can be so large. But if that's what you're into, you really want some longer pens and some more girthier pens, and then certainly reach out to Mike Green at mikespenfun.com. But this he sent for review, and I really am loving this material. It really has a lot of chatoyance in it. It's got these sort of dragon scales, hence Juma Dragon. It really is a beautiful pen. He's also polished this pen to a very high standard as well. And if I remove the cap there is a number 6 size Bock steel nib. And that is, I believe, a broad nib. The cap hasn't been designed to be posted on this one. And if I unscrew the section here, I have a Jinhao, or actually this is a Twisby, I think. This is a Twisby converter on this one. But you can, I think, also fit the Jinhao 9019 converters in here as well. Or you can just fit a regular 0.7 milliliter converter. So that pen is inked up this week as well, and I'm writing a lot with that pen. I do like how it writes, and I do like the ink matching that I filled the pen up with. The next pen is the very much smaller and thinner Cypress, or Mr. Cypress, and this is the Maki-e Goldfish. And you can see here that this really is a stunning work of art. The artisans that Cypress are engaging with are just knocking these pens out of the ballpark. Beautiful pens. I don't know if it is urushi lacquered. There is some shine to it, so I think there is some lacquer over the top of this. But I can feel it massively, the texture. So I'm always very careful with the urushi pens, even the urushi lacquer pens. But this one, I do feel it a lot. And that's a pattern. I've got a number 6 size, 18 karat gold Cypress nib there. I can post the cap, but again, like I said, I don't want to mar this finish, so I do not post most of my caps on pens. It has got a cartridge converter. All of the Cypress pens have cartridge converters. I do wonder at some point if they will gravitate towards maybe piston filling pens. Technically, a cartridge converter is a piston anyway. You'll see if you look on eBay or some of the cheaper selling sites that that people will actually mention a cartridge converter on some pens as being a piston, because technically it is. It's just, it's a removable piston. But like, do you need an integrated piston that you cannot replace if it fails? Not really. This is why I have preferred really to go down the route of cartridge converters more recently. The next pen is a pen also that spoke to me. I bought at the same time, and this is a Cypress, or Mr. Cypress, and it is the Raden Mosaic. There were a number of versions. I got number 4 of this. Each version, the pattern was slightly different. One word of warning with Cypress is that when you go to buy a pen from them, if you find a pen that you like, for instance this pen, they will normally only have 5 made. At least that's how, when I've looked at every pen that they've sold, they typically don't have more than 5 in each one. So once they sell those 5, that's it, they're gone. So these are very, very limited edition runs. Technically not labeled as limited edition, but they are limited in how many are made. So if you want a pen like this and you see a pen on the mrcypress.com.tw website, buy it as soon as you can, because it will sell, guaranteed. Certainly the Maki-e, the Raden ones, the Urushi ones do. This has, again, a number 6 size Cypress, 18 karat gold nib there. Again, it's a cartridge converter. I can post this cap. Definitely, I would say this one has more of a Urushi lacquer over it. It's very, very shiny and smooth to the touch. Whereas the Maki-e Goldfish isn't smooth to the touch. So I think that this may not, or if it does have a Urushi lacquer on it, I think it probably only has like 1 coat. The next one, again, this is a Cypress pen. It's a little bit more larger in size. This is the kind of size that I like. And this is the Maple in the Forest. And I almost had, well, I did have actually, FOMO, fear of missing out. Because I don't add pens to shopping carts, but I will like favourite them. And I saw that Cypress at one point had 3 of these beautiful Maple in the Forest pens. And I do like this maple leaf. It really is beautiful. And I think it was probably, I went back a number of times, I think probably a couple of weeks later, and then maybe about 3 weeks later, and they had 1 in stock. And I was like, if I don't buy this pen now, it is going to sell. And I did. I added it to my shopping cart and I bought it. So glad, because again, as I said, with Cypress, they typically they only make 5 pens in any one pattern or any one model, and then they're gone. So again, I was very glad that I bought this. I don't know who bought the other 4. Do I care? Not really. I'm sure they'll probably surface at some point on the used market. Again, this has got a number 6 size, but this is a 14 karat gold, not an 18 karat gold medium nib. Both of these are mediums as well. And can I post a cap? No. Again, it's not designed to do so. Again, it's a cartridge converter. But this is typically a better size that I prefer. Slightly thicker section, thicker body, longer body. It's not the longest pen that I have, as you can see here on this one. But it's, I'd say, around 145 to 150 millimeters long is my sweet spot in terms of a pen. Because I know that at that point it's going to be at least 130 millimeters long for the body with the nib. And that is what I consider as being slightly better for me in terms of in the size of my hand. The next pen inked up is a pen that I bought, I picked up at the London Pen Show in October 24. And this was the newly released Anoto Charles Dickens Christmas Carol 2024 edition. I have a number of these. I have a 2021 Cult Pens exclusive. I have a 2022 prototype. I have two 2023s, and now this is the fifth one, the 2024 edition. Am I sad that I didn't get the 2019 and 2020? Not really. I do like this pen. I thought I liked the 2023 editions really a lot, and I do, but this one I like even more. So it's got this lovely red sort of cranberry-like resin here with a silver overlay on the cap, which adds a lot of weight. But then it's green and red and enamel painting here to fill in the leaves and the berries. It really is a beautiful pen. Like all Anotos, not cheap, but I've got a number 7 size Anoto 18 karat gold medium nib. Again, it's a cartridge converter. I don't actually, the pen itself is very light. I don't actually have in this pen a added weight in the body. I think I might see if I can get one at the March pen show. I can post the cap, and that really adds a lot more weight. But I'm finding with a lot of the Anotos nowadays that I have that I do prefer the added weight of a brass inner tube in the body. So I think I will probably get one in, well, actually, I know I'm out of them, so I will probably buy at least 2, maybe 4 at the March pen show, because I know that I've got another Anoto, or several Anotos that I want to add to them. So if I buy 2, I'm going to be out again. So I might just get another 2 on top of that, just to future-proof my Anoto collection. I now have 19 Anotos. Not as many as the 73 Viscontis I have, but still, it's a lot. And this, obviously, this one I picked up in October 24. This one I picked up just before Christmas. And this, it's an amazing pen. It's an Anoto, and it's the University of Oxford. And I have to say, I like these sterling silver pens. I like the weight of them. I'm not so much into Vermeil. I'm more of a silver guy. I thought I was into gold-coloured pens more, but I have to say I'm more into silver. So this was a little bit of a bittersweet one, because I wasn't sure I wanted to buy this one. It was an extremely good price. If I compared it, like, this was, I think, released in 2009. If I compared it to today's prices, it's long sold out. But if I compared it to the similar University of Cambridge 800th edition, I got this for about 75% off. So, as you can understand, that is an insane price. So I had to get it. And this has an Anoto number 7 size, 18 karat gold nib, and I believe, I'm just going to have a look, it doesn't say on the nib, but I'm pretty sure that is a, there it is, it's an M for medium. So that is a medium nib, but yeah, I had to buy this, and it's empty at the moment. I'm just going to refill it with a new ink, but this is a nice nib, and I have to say, like, here you go. You can see that there. That I do like these Anoto nibs. They are Bock nibs, the 18 karat gold ones. Can I post the cap on this? No, it's not designed to do so, and I'm not normally a cap poster. I do like the pattern on this pen. It is nice, and I'm glad I picked it up for the price that I picked it up. 75% off. It's quite a deal. So would I prefer it if it was not Vermeil and just in silver? Yes, I would. But this model, there was not many. I think there was 100 of these made, and yeah, I would, unfortunately, they didn't make them in sterling silver as far as I'm aware. or if they did, they long sold out. So very glad that I picked that one up, added it to my collection. Another pen I really like the look of is this one. It's not a Montblanc. It's a copy. It's a clone. It's a Majohn titanium TI-136. But this looks very much like the Montblanc Martelet, and it is a piston filling pen. Beautiful hammered titanium effect going on here. Obviously no snow cap there, but it is a piston. It's not a cartridge converter. You do have an ink window here as well, and that does have a Majohn nib there. But honestly, I'm loving this pen. I really am. I can post the cap on this, and it posts deeply and securely. It's an okay size in my hand. It's not too short. It's not too long. I do like this pen, and I have been umming and ahhing about buying a second one of these, and I don't like the brushed steel version. I do like this hammered titanium. They're not cheap. They are about 130, 140 pounds or euros or dollars. And do I need another one? No, I don't. Am I going to ink it up with a different ink? Probably not. So that's the thing that keeps saying to me, don't buy a second version of this. And I don't normally buy a second version of a pen. But I do know at some point they'll probably stop making them, and I'll probably then regret not buying a second version of it. But for me, at the moment, I'm actually really liking that pen. And maybe if I get a bit bored, I'll buy a second one. But I don't see the need to buy one at the moment. The next pen I picked up about a year ago. It's or maybe just probably 6 months ago, maybe. It's the Montblanc Around the World in 80 Days. You can see here you've got this plaque on it. I was a little bit hesitant in buying this pen. I love the design. Don't get me wrong. I really love this design. I love the weight of this pen as well. This is black ebony wood, and it's engraved. It's not lacquered. And that's the first reason why I hesitated massively on buying this pen. I'm not into wood pens. The second thing really was this plaque. I'm guessing this is glued on. Is it going to come off at some point? I don't know. My gut feeling says yes, it will. And then I will probably be devastated if that's the case. But it's a piston filling pen. I like this pen a lot. I always treat my pens with kid gloves. They're always in pen sleeves or pen drawers like this. So I'm not chucking them in a bag, in a rucksack. If I do, they are in a zippered case or a pen case that's going to pad it so that they're not going to scuff or break. This is a beautiful pen, Around the World in 80 Days. Very glad that I bought this when I did. I got a pretty good deal on this. You've got number 6 size, 18 karat gold medium nib there. But also the other bittersweet part of this pen is that although I got a fairly good deal, I think I got about 35% off, I actually then saw it about a month later at 55% off, and I kind of kicked myself at that point, because if I had picked up at 55% off, I really, really would have been happy. Not that 35% off, it didn't make me happy, it did, but it would have been better if I could have saved a bit more money on it and picked it up for 55% off. But there you go. That's the danger sometimes of sales. You never quite know whether or not a sale is a good value. You can look at the percentage off of retail. You can shop around, and at the time it was a very good price. But clearly, I think they probably only had one left in stock at that point, and they just discounted it by another 20%. So, yeah, it's a shame, but I'm still loving that pen. The other pen which I did pick up about a year ago was this one. It's a Montblanc, and it's the LePetit Prince Aviator Solitaire Doué. Really, really nice pen. I do like this a lot. It's a platinum pen engraved with this leather cap here. I say leather cap, it's leather on the cap, on the platinum, and it's stitched here as well. I'm pretty sure, I'm guessing it's glued as well. It's not just holding place of those stitches. It's a beautiful pen, piston filling pen like all Montblanc, well, not all, but most Montblancs. This one is definitely a piston filling pen. So is this one. Number 6 size, 18 karat gold nib, medium nib there. Again, not designed to post the cap, but it's a decent size. So again, that doesn't bother me. So from that perspective, loving writing with that pen. And then I think it was a day or two later I picked up this one, which was the Montblanc Writer's Edition, and this is the Brothers Grimm. I always wanted this one. Prior to that, I wanted the Homer. I still haven't got a Homer. I think the prices have gone up a bit and a little bit silly on the Homers that are left. And I saw the Brothers Grimm. I wanted it when it came out. I didn't get it. And then I think it was almost a year later I picked this one up because it was a good price. So I'm loving this one. Again, a number 6 size, 18 karat gold, medium nib, piston filling pen. Can I post the cap? No. Again, it won't post. But again, that doesn't bother me. But if you are liking the Montblanc Writer's Editions or even the special editions, most of them will not post cap-wise. So just bear that in mind. There's not many that do post. And I don't know the reason for that, but it's just what it is. So there you have it. That's my 10 pens currently inked for this week. I think let's now go and do a writing sample. So the first pen inked up this week is the Mike Green's pen, and this is the Juma Golden Dragon. So we'll do an ink swatch here. And I have quite a few brown inks, and I could have put any brown in here, but the brown I put in here is the one that is going to probably remain, I think, for the future. So this is the Mike Green, and it is the Juma Golden Dragon. It's a broad and it's a steel nib, and Bock nib as well. And the ink in here is Diamine Ochre, which is a nice colour, and I think it matches the pen colour quite a lot. That nib is tuned by Kirk Spears of Pen Realm. All of Mike Green's nibs are, just so you're aware. The next pen inked up is the Cypress, and this is the Maki-e Goldfish. So we'll do an ink swatch here as well. And this, actually, I need to just double check. Yeah, it is out of ink. So I am going to re-ink that up. I did grab the bottle just in case, because I thought it might be out of ink. So this might have a tendency to burp now that I've just inked it up, but let's see. Hopefully it won't. Yeah, it shouldn't do. So this is the Cypress, and it's the Maki-e Goldfish, and it's a medium, and it's an 18 karat gold nib, and the ink in here is Robert Oster, and it is gold Antiqua. I actually grabbed that ink for another pen, but I had it inked up in that pen, so I thought, well, I might as well continue with that ink. The next pen inked up is the Cypress, and this is the Raden Mosaic number 4. So we'll do an ink swatch here. Similar gold coloured ink. It's a little bit more on the lighter side than gold Antiqua. So this is the Cypress, and it is the Raden Mosaic number 4, and again it's a medium, and it's an 18 karat gold nib. Typically I buy the 14 karat gold nibs, but Cypress had run out of the 18 karat, the 14 karat gold nibs, so I had to buy both of these in an 18 karat gold. And then the ink in here is Robert Oster, but it's called Muddy Bucket, which I still find a bit of a weird name for an ink, but yeah, it's I'm sure we could have come up with a better name. Gold Furnace, Gold Foil, maybe. Gold Foil probably would have been a nice name for that ink. The next pen inked up is the Cypress, and this is the Maple in the Forest. So we'll do an ink swatch. And to be honest, I could have put a gold ink in here. At one point, I was going to put a gold shimmer ink, and I was going to put, and maybe I should still at some point, I was going to put Vinter Whiskey Gold in there at one point, but I'd already had it inked up in another pen. So I chose not to, and I went with an ink that I knew wrote well. And so this is the Cypress Maple in the Forest, and it's a medium, and it's a 14 karat gold nib. And I'm just going to check to see if that pen is out of ink, because I thought it was running a bit dry. It is out of ink. I'm going to have to ink that one back up. Maybe I've got enough ink just to get through the last line here. So the ink is Herbin, or was, I should say, Herbin Ambre de Bermanie, which is a nice autumny coloured ink. Yeah, there you go. I can just about coax that out. I think I'm going to ink that one back up. I do like Herbin Ambre de Bermanie. That is a nice coloured ink. I think it matches that pen nicely. Yeah, I could put Vinter Whiskey Gold in there, but yeah, it's a tough one. I think I'm going to stick with Herbin Ambre de Bermanie. The next pen inked up is the Anoto Charles Dickens Christmas Carol 2024. And I really do like this, but as I said, I will probably add a brass inner tube weight to the body. I think it only adds about 7 grams in weight, or 11 grams maybe. I think it's 7. Not a huge amount, but it just makes the pen feel better. So this is the Anoto, and it's the Charles Dickens. I'm going to abbreviate that though, just to Christmas Cow 2024. It's a medium, and it's an 18 karat gold Bock nib. And then the ink in here still is Diamine. Ho, ho, ho. And yes, it is a Christmassy ink, but I typically have it inked most of the year round. And honestly, I do kind of like that ink. I think it matches and pairs to that pen quite well. The next pen inked up is the Anoto, and this is the University of Oxford. So we'll do an ink swatch here. And this is, again, quite a wet nib. Most of the Anotos are. So this is an Anoto. And it is the University of Oxford, Vermeil, and I think it's a medium nib, although I'm starting to think that might be a fine nib. I think it said it was a medium, but there isn't actually an engraving on the nib. I thought I could see a light F for fine there, but no, it's not. I'm going to put medium in here, but it might be a fine. It's an 18 cat gold nib. And the ink in here is diamine ochre. Now I was... Oh, let me prime that again. So diamine ochre. I was going to ink that one up with Robert Oster Gold Antiqua, but I do like diamine ochre a lot, so I decided last minute there just to ink it up with diamine ochre. The next pen inked up is the Majohn Titanium TI-136. I just had forgotten that name. Let's do an ink swatch here. I really do love how this nib writes. I was a little bit not happy when I got the nib because it was more of a blade or blade nib, and I kind of turned it into a little bit more of an architect nib myself because I didn't like how it wrote, but now this nib writes perfectly. So this is a Majohn Titanium TI-136 in, well, essentially is a medium steel nib. And the ink in here is diamine Earl Grey. But that is a very beautiful writing nib. Really happy. And I think that's also probably another reason why I'm a little bit torn on buying a second one. So the next pen inked up is the Montblanc Around the World in 80 Days. So we'll do an ink swatch on this one. And it's strange when you start running with a pen and you see the ink and you think, I know what that ink is. That is Lamy Mango. And then I was like, wait, hold on a moment. No, that's not Lamy Mango, but I do know what that ink is. So this is the Montblanc, and it's Around the World in 80 Days. I struggle to fit it on here. It's a medium. It's an 18 cat gold nib. And the ink in here is Sailor Gentle Apricot. Very, very nice coloured ink. I know I was tempted originally to ink that up with Lamy Mango, but I chose not to in the end. The next pen inked up is the Montblanc LePetit Prince Aviator Solitaire Doué. So we'll do an ink swatch on this one as well. And again, another brown ink. It's not the same as before. A little bit darker brown, I would say. A little bit orangey though as well. So this is the Montblanc, and it's the LePetit Prince Aviator Solitaire Doué. I'm going to run out of space, so I'm just going to put a medium 18 cat gold nib. And then the ink in here is, it's a UK Pen Show exclusive. It's KWZ Newquay Brown, which Newquay is short for Newcastle Brown, or Newcastle. Obviously, you've got the brown there as well. Newcastle Brown Ale is an ale in the UK, manufactured, I believe, in Newcastle, and it's Newcastle Brown Ale is always shortened to Newquay Brown. So there you have it. And then the last pen inked up is the Montblanc Writers Edition Brothers Grimm. So we'll do an ink swatch here as well. And again, this is a good writing nib. I like this a lot. I think I didn't quite like this as much when I got it, but I think I want to say it bed in. It didn't probably bed in, but maybe my tastes are changing a bit, and I just like how this nib writes. So this is a Montblanc and it's the writer's edition, and it's the Brothers Grimm. I think it's a homage to Brothers Grimm. It's a medium, and it's an 18 cat gold nib. And the ink in here is... That's a very good question. Diamine graphite, I believe. At least that's what I have listed. But that is quite a dark grey ink. I think there's another one, a KWZ ink that I have as well, that is as dark of that as well. So I think let's go and take a look at these pens inked up one more time. We have a Mike Green Juma Golden Dragon in a broad steel nib inked up with Diamine Ochre. We have a Cypress Maki-e Goldfish in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Robert Oster Gold Antiqua. We have a Cypress Raden Mosaic No. 4 in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Robert Oster Muddy Bucket. We have a Cypress Maple in the Forest in a medium 14 karat gold nib inked up with Herben Amber de Bermany. We have an Anoto Christmas Carol 2024 edition in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Diamine Ho Ho Ho. We have an Anoto University of Oxford Vermeil in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Diamine Ochre. We have a Majohn Titanium TI-136 in a medium steel nib inked up with Diamine Earl Grey. We have a Montblanc Around the World in 80 days in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Sailor Gentle Apricot. We have a Montblanc LePetit Prince Aviator Solitaire Doué in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with KWZ Yuki Brown. And then last but not least, we have the Montblanc Writers Edition Brothers Grimm in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Diamine Graphite. So there you have it. That's my 10 pens currently inked for this week. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye-bye.